Good morning, all. This is Unit 1 Portfolio Construction. And now let us see the problems under Sharpe's single index model. Here is the question. Following is the data for 3 stocks. The data sheet research from correlating a return on these stocks versus return on market index is given. So that is 3 stocks are given. Then the value alpha and beta values are given. Using single index model, find out expected return of 3 stocks and expected return for portfolio. So here it is asked to find out the expected return of 3 stocks as well as expected return of portfolio. That means individual stocks and portfolio. So given that the market return for same period is 15% and proportion of investment is also given, that is X is equals to 35%, Y equals to 25% and Z is equals to 40%. Next, coming to the solution of the problem. Here you have to find the return on stocks as well as return on portfolio. So first part is return on individual stocks. We have to find out return on individual stocks and then return on portfolio. So here in the problem, risk part is not asked. So we are only finding the expected return of individual stocks as well as the portfolio. So coming to the first part, that is Ri is equals to alpha I plus beta I into Rm plus Ei. So this is the expected return on each stock. So here you can take Ri is equals to alpha I or Rf, both are same. So Rf is nothing but it is risk-free return. Then beta I, here it is the measure of risk measure of the market, that is systematic risk. So already in the previous class I have explained what is systematic risk and what is unsystematic risk. So you have to be very familiar with those words. You have to understand those systematic as well as unsystematic risk. So it is related to the risk measure which is related with the market. So that is that happens to the entire market, that is systematic risk. So if it is only to one particular industry or one particular firm, then it is unsystematic. If it is unique, then it is unsystematic risk. So here beta I is nothing but it is risk measure of the market, that is systematic risk. Then Rm, it is a return on the market, or stock index, plus EI. EI is nothing but it is the residual value which cannot be specified. So this particular factor, residual factor, if it is given, you have to consider, otherwise it will be 0. So coming to individual stocks, that is Rx, we have 3 stocks here. In the question we have X, Y and Z stocks. So individually you have to take the values. Rx is equals to, substitute the values here, alpha I, or it is Rf, that is risk-free return. So risk-free return is what is the value? It is 5. So 5 plus what is beta I? Beta I is nothing but it is 1.6. 1.6 into Rm. Rm is also given in the question, that you just check the question, given that the market return for the same period. So market return is given, return of the market is given, that is 15%. So you have to take that value 15 plus EI. It's not specified anywhere, so that's why it will be 0. This will be 0. So so if you calculate this, you are going to get it as 29%. Same for return on Y stock, that is 8 plus 0.46 into 15 plus 0, that comes to 14.9%. Then for Z is equals to minus 5 plus 1.11 into 15 plus 0, that is equals to 11.65%. So in this way you have to calculate the expected return on each stock. So after finding on each stock, then we are going for portfolio. So return on portfolio is equals to alpha P plus beta P into RM, or you can use the formula as Rx into X plus Ry into Xy plus Rz into Xz. So return on portfolio here, it's a similar to your Markowitz model. So here we are taking the return on individual stocks, then weightage of that stocks, X or W, both are same. Any alphabet you can use. So it is nothing but the proportion or weightage given of each stock. Same for Y stock, return on Y stock into weightage of Y stock plus return on Z into weight of another stock. That is summation of 3 stocks. So if you take alpha P is nothing but it is, again you have to take summation n is equals to 1, I is equals to 1. So for each and every stock. So if you are given 2 stocks, then you have to go for 2. If you are given 3 stocks, then it changes. N is equals to 1, n is equals to 2, n is equals to 3. Individually you have to do. So xi and alpha I. So that comes for each and every stock. No, you have to take three stocks we have. So 3 stocks weightage into return, risk-free return you have to take. So the alpha x is equals to 0.35. In the question it is given that the proportion of investment x is equals to 35%, y is equals to 25%, and z is equals to 40%. So based on those values, so x is given, x is equals to 35. You can refer the question. 35% means it is nothing but 0.35. Same way y is given, y is equals to 25%. 25% means it is 0.25. Z is given, z is equals to 40%, that is 0.4. So in this way you have to take the weight or proportion of the investment into risk-free return of the investment. So the values for alpha is given directly in the question. So it is 0.05 means it is 5. 0.08 means 8%. Then minus 0.05 means it is 5. So in this way we have to find out the return of the portfolio by finding the individual values, that is alpha values, and then you have to summate it. So that is nothing but summation of different stocks, individual stocks. So that comes to, if you add all these stock values, then it comes to 1.75. Next thing is you have to find out the beta of the portfolio. So alpha we have found out. Then you have to find out the beta value. So beta p is equals to same summation of n is equals to 1, I is equals to 1. That means here for each and every stock, the calculation summation has to be done. So xi into beta I. So same again, xi is nothing but weight or proportion of the investment given, that is 35%, 25% and 40%. And beta values are directly given in the question, that is 1.6, 0.46 and 1.11. So just substitute the values, do the summation of individual stocks. Then the total you are going to get is 1.119. So here, this is up to that we have found out the individual returns or individual values, individual stock values. Okay, now you have to find out the return on the portfolio. So what is the return? What is the return on the portfolio formula is? Return of the portfolio is equals to alpha p plus beta p into Rm plus EI. So EI is negligible. If the value is given, then only you have to take, otherwise not needed. That is residual value you have. Residual factor or residual value, if it is given, then you have to take, otherwise not needed. So directly you can whatever alpha value you have got, you can substitute it, 1.75 plus 1.119 into return on the market return is 15. So if you add these values, if you do the calculation, you are going to get it as 18.535%. So one way is you can take this formula, or you can take it as you have done in Markowitz model, that is Rx into Xx plus summation of three stocks. Summation, that is Rx into weight of the individual stock plus second stock, where return on second stock into weight of the second stock plus return on third stock into weight of the third stock. So like this way you can do it. You can either of the way you can do it. Either you can take this formula or this one. So just directly you can put the values here. That is what is the return on X you have found out in the first part. That is individually you have found out the return of the stocks, that is 29%, 14.9% and 11.65%. So these values you have to substitute, and also the weight, that is 15, 25 and 40%, it is given in the question. So in this way you can do the in both the ways, either this way or this way. If you substitute the values, then you are going to get the same answer here. So here it is 14.9, not 3. So make it a correction, it is 14.9. So you have two formulas, either of the formulas you can use. It's very simple, do it by yourself, then you'll be able to, if you write it on the notebook, if you do it on your own once to twice, then it is very easy to understand. Hope you have understood this class. Thank you.